and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Nikki here. So today we are going to be doing an Ariana Grande inspired 7 rings makeup tutorial, specifically because I want to start incorporating a little hint of color here and there on my channel, and I feel like this would be a beautiful pink look. I really liked her look because it had soft hints of pink from what I could see and glitz and glamour, but it was just really girly and flirty, and I just wanted to recreate it. So if you guys want to see my recreation, then just keep on watching. I'm going to be starting off with hydrating my skin. We're going to be using the embryolisse. This is the creme rich hydrant. It's just a really rich moisturizing cream for dry and dehydrated skin. So I'm going to use this, take quite a lot of this and pop it all over the face, neck and chest area. Now I'm going to move it straight into foundation. We're not really going to prime, we're just going to move it straight into it. I wanted to use a drugstore foundation because you guys always ask me what shade I am in drugstore foundations, and I've actually come across the Wet n Wild. This is the Photo Focus foundation in the shade Desert Beige Medium Dark. I believe that this is the darkest shade that they have in it, which is annoying, but I really actually like the finish of it, and I like how it looks on the skin because it's not too heavy but it's also not too sheer, and I like the spatula applicator as well. So I'm going to be popping this all over the face and neck area, and then I'm going to buff this out using my damp beauty blender. So I would probably say that base makeup is my favorite part of doing my makeup. I just like to perfect it and get it really nice and flawless. This one says that it's Photo Focus, and it also says goodbye to flashback, which is really good. It's just really soft on the skin. It looks like it's kind of filtered the skin. I would say in terms of shade, I would go with this one, and if there was a shade darker, I'll mix them two together. But for a drugstore foundation, and I think it was like £8 or £6 or something, I think it really does the job well if you're on a budget. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it does a really nice job. For concealer now, let's keep it drugstore. I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution. This is a concealer and define super size in the shade C12, which is completely my color, my skin tone color in a bottle. I'm going to be popping this underneath my eyes and then blending that out with a damp beauty blender just to get rid of all that smoke around my eyes, and then taking the excess around my mouth area as well, just to cover any pigmentation there. Now guys, from what I can see, she doesn't seem to have like any sort of major contour, anything harsh. Everything is really soft and it's kind of just like one tone. Like I think she's got highlighter, but it's not crazy highlighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my Anastasia. This is their contour cream kit in the shade medium, and I'm actually going to take the second to lightest shade in this, mix it with a little bit of banana, and I'm going to pop this underneath my eyes and down the center of my face, just to add a little bit of brightness underneath my eyes like she has, but nothing too crazy. And then I'm going to blend it out using a damp beauty blender as well. Now that that's on and it's added a little bit of brightness to the face, we can't leave it like that. She has got a little bit of bronzer on, but nothing too much. Everything seems a little bit kind of bare, and then a little bit of blush to me anyway. So I'm going to go back into that cream contour kit, and I'm going to use this shade called Cinnamon. Put a little bit of my kryolan makeup blend in just to water it down a little bit, and then use my fluffy brush just to bronze up my cheeks and take this up to my temples. I'm also going to do my jawline and take that behind towards my ear. I feel like she's also got a little bit of a nose contour going on, so we're just gonna, it's more concentrated in this area right here, so we're just gonna do that. Now I am going to move on to brows. Ariana's brows are very sort of like, I don't know how to, they're very straight. Like they haven't got much tail at the end. They don't go down. They kind of just stay upright, I feel. So I'm going to try and do that as best as I can. Obviously I can't manipulate my brows completely, but I'm not going to lengthen out the tail end of my brows. And I'm going to be using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade number 5 to do so. Also, I'm just going to brush them as I go along. I don't want them to be too heavy, so I want them to still stay fluffy. I am just noticing now that her brows seem to be quite ashy, so not very light, but like 2 shades lighter than her natural hair color. That's just not a vibe for me. I won't be able to pull that off. So I'm just going to set my brows. I'm going to use the Anastasia clear brow gel just to run it through my brow hairs to set them in place. Just quickly going to go into that Anastasia and clean up my brows. I know I'm using a hella big brush. You should use a smaller brush, but I didn't want to keep cleaning my makeup brushes, so I'm just going to use this one just to quickly carve my brow out and then prime my lid as well. Just buff that out real quick now just to get a really clean soft edge. Okay, so there's two looks that I'm going to kind of mishmash together because I can't really see what makeup she's using or what it looks like in detail. I'm going to start off by using the Huda Beauty. This is a nude palette because it just seemed like the correct way to go. And I'm going to take the shade Teddy as my transition color to start off with. I'm going to take this on a fluffy brush and then just run this through my crease. I'm also going to slightly wing this out towards the end, so I'm not going to come all the way down, just to keep my eyes in more of that feline wing shape. Now, I don't want to complicate this look any more than I need to, so you could leave the crease like this. But just to add a hint more pink just in the crease, I'm going to go in with the shade Tickle, which is a little bit more pink. Just be careful, we don't need that much. You can also mix it with Play if you want to dilute it a little bit. Not like it's a liquid, but if you just want to share out the powder. And I'm going to use a smaller blending brush just to pop this into my crease, just to get a little bit more colour. I'm also going to take this shade and I'm going to take it right into this inner corner area, just so we've got pigment there of pink. Now I really want a sparkly lid, it needs to stand out, so I'm going to be mixing a few glitters together. We're going to start off with the Huda Beauty glitter that's in the palette. This one is called Infatuated. I'm going to take this on a flat brush and just apply this. Now you don't want the edge to be like a cut crease, I just want it to still kind of blend out into the crease shadow. So I'm going to be applying this with a flat brush and do my best just to blend it out into the powder. Now even though I like this pink glitter, her glitter seems to be more on the gold side, and it seems to be a little bit chunkier as well. So what I'm going to do is over the top of this, I'm going to be using the Revolution. This is their Power Hungry glitter paste, and this is the gold one. The glitter chunks are probably the biggest glitter chunks that I've owned instead of a fine glitter, and I feel like that's really going to come across with the sparkle. So I'm going to take a fluffy brush and lightly just pat over the pink to tone it down. Let's make it less pink, a little bit more gold, but all in all I just want them to look very glittery. Do you know what, if I'm honest, I'm hoping that you guys can tell the difference, because I can see it in person. You can see like little specks of glitter, and that's why I actually genuinely like chunky glitter. If you've got a chunkier glitter or even a fine glitter, what I'd suggest is take it on a fluffy brush and then dot it on. That way you're going to get little specks of it, as opposed to if you get it on a flat brush, it just goes on like one whole chunk, which I don't love the look of. But yeah, I think it sparkles. Let's go back into my Huda Nude palette. I'm going to take this shade called Crave, which is a beautiful crushed kind of shimmery colour, and I'm going to pop this on my brow bone. I feel like with Ariana, she's got most of it at the arch and then it goes down towards the tail, so that's what I'm going to do, and we want there to be a little bit of shimmer there as well. Now I'm also going to take this colour into my inner corners, but more towards my lid as opposed to my tear duct. That's where she seems to be wearing her highlighter. I think it just opens up her eyes just with the same shade. Now comes the part that I've actually been dreading. It is the wing. She's known for her staple wing liner, but her wing liner is so different to mine. Mine's usually like straight and cut and quite long. Hers seems to be quite short, and it's got a little bit more of a dolly kind of roundness to it, which goes up towards the brow. So I'm going to try and achieve this. I'm going to be using the Roller Liner Eyeliner by Benefit, and fingers crossed for me because I've got some chunky glitter on. If you're going to be doing this at home, maybe do the liner before you do the glitter. I don't know, I did think that process through. So we're just going to try and attempt a liner really thin towards the lash line. On top of the lash line, do it really thin. Then when you get out, we're going to do a small but rounded flick up towards the brow and then bringing it back in and filling it in. That could possibly be the hardest liner that I've done. One, I already had glitter down, which was difficult. And two, I just don't wear my liner like this. It's very different to me, so I feel like it's really different when you're trying to copy an image and it's just not to your style. You're kind of constantly, I probably would have come out further out and have been really straight about it, but this one's a little bit more curved. Anyway, we're going to move on to mascara, and I'm just going to coat my lashes in the Maybelline. This is the Colossal Big Shot Volume Mascara. We're just going to coat our lashes. Now I feel like because this would be more for video film purposes, I think she's got a lot of powder on, because powder always makes you look super airbrushed. So I'm going to be using a lot of powder. Today I'm going to be using the Danessa Myricks. This is the Evolution powder in the shade 02. And I'm going to take this on a triangle sponge and just bake underneath my eyes, because this will just slightly brighten them. Let's just take the same powder down the center of the nose as well. I am now just going to set everywhere else, which I would never do on a daily basis, but just to get it really looking airbrush, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Sugar Cookie Easy Bake Loose Powder just with a fluffy brush. We're just going to pat this all over. Also now very lightly, I need to just set my bronzer because you don't want it to be too much. You just want it to add a little bit of definition. I'm going to be using my Nip and Fab. This is a contour palette in dark, and I'm going to take this quite light bronzy shade and just to go around everywhere that we cream contour, just to set that in place and just to add a little bit more depth. Now, one thing that this makeup look has that I completely do not do, and I think I'm going to struggle today, is Ariana's lower lash line. She's not got it completely bare, but she's got like the smallest hint so close to the lash line, and she doesn't smudge it out. She doesn't smoke it out really smoky. She keeps it all tight. So we're going to do the same. I'm going to go back into that Huda eyeshadow palette and take the shade Tickle, which is the pinkest one. And then using this square brush, I'm just going to go underneath and go as close to the lash line as possible, just so you can see it smoked out a tiny bit on my lower lash line. I'm going to be a tiny bit extra. To me, it looks like she's got specks of glitter just on the inner corner, but really close to her lash line. So I'm going to pick out a couple of chunks of this glitter and just dot them, just so we've got a little bit of a sparkle on the lower lash line as well. Using our fluffy brush now, I'm just going to dust away this bake. We're going to do it in really kind of slow movements side to side because we don't want to disrupt anything underneath, just in case it hasn't set too well. So we're just going to go side to side and brush this bake away. For blusher, I'm going to be using the Nip and Fab. This is a blusher palette in Blushed Bright, and I'm going to use this pink. I'm going to mix a tiny bit of the orange into it just to get a little bit of warmth in the blusher, and then I'm going to apply it to the apples and move it up towards my temples. Don't worry too much that we're looking very powdery at this stage, because we will sort that out with our Fix Plus spray, but we just want to get all our powders on, and the blusher is really going to act to the cheeks, give us a flush of color and give us some color to the skin as well. Now for me personally, from what I'm seeing, I see a lot of like blusher from behind coming forward and then it gradually fades out, which I've actually never seen before, or it could just be the image, but that's what I'm going to work with. Let me just spritz a little quick spritz of Fix Plus just to get everything looking like skin again, because it's looking a bit too chalky for my liking. We're going to add some lashes. For lashes, I'm going to use the Faye lashes. I've been using these a lot in Abu Dhabi. The thing is, with her lashes, they just look so super natural, but they're very long. So they're just really long, quite wispy. Anything like that will do. These ones are the ones that I've got are the most natural, and I feel like they'll add an effect as well. So I'm just going to put these babies on. Once the lashes are on, I feel like this look is coming together slowly. I'm going to add a little bit of, this is Benefit's Roller Eye Bright Pencil just in the waterline. Guys, I really tried, but I just need to smoke this out. I can't deal. I'm just going to smoke this out a little bit. I don't know what it is. I feel like I've given in, and I'm sorry, but I need to just smoke out my lower lash line. I don't feel like me otherwise. I feel like it's looking so liney underneath there, and I just can't keep it clean. Sods. Okay, we are nearly done, I promise. We are going to go in with our highlighter. I'm going to risk it a little bit. I'm going to use a jelly highlighter just because I don't necessarily want a powder. So I'm going to use a jelly highlighter in Prestigious by Makeup Revolution. And this one's so cool. We're going to take it on a damp beauty blender and then just sponge it over the high points of the face. So that would be on my cheekbones and just down the center of the face as well. So my ass just nearly forgot mascara on my lower lashes. Just going to add a little bit there. Now we're going to move on to lips, which I feel like are personally the star of the show. She's got some glossy, shiny, metallic kind of looking lips, or she's got matte lips, but both of them are pink. So I'm going to do like a conjunction between both of them. We're going to start off with the NYX. This is a Suede matte lip liner. This is in the shade Montreal, which is kind of like, I don't know, it's like a fuchsia pink but a bit more toned down. So I'm going to line my lips in with this. I'm also going to fill the whole of my lip in with this, so use it as a lip colour as well. Now personally, this is very baby dollish for me. I want them to be a little bit dark because our lip colour seems to be a little bit more on the fuchsia darker pink side. So I'm going to be taking my Technic Chunky Lip Pencil. This is in Red Velvet. I'm just going to go on the outskirts and then blend this colour in. Okay, so this lip colour seems a little bit truer to what I can see in the image. Now this lip gloss I've been waiting to try. It's by Gade. I can't pronounce it. This one is in the shade Gold Glitz, Crystal Light 804, and the lip gloss is banging because actually it has a light in it. How cool is that? It actually has a light in it. So I'm just going to apply this over the top. Let's just quickly spritz another bit of Fix Plus. Okay guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not feeling this lip. Like, I'm not a metallic person. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I might change it into a matte. So I'm going to give you the option. If you wanted the glossy metallic lip, you could wear this one. So for lips, I'm going to go nudie pink. And for this, I'm going to use, this is the Bites lip pencil in the shade Glacé. We're going to pop this all over the lip to start off with. And now, because this is hella nude, I'm going to add a little bit of pink to it and then blend it out. I'm going to be using Kat Von D's. This is Melancholia. So we're going to pop this over the top and just buff it out. I'm genuinely happy that we got to a lip colour that we actually like, because I don't like the other one. But you can pick between the two. I'm just going to chuck this Diamante choker on because she's got something similar on in the video. Personally, I think it could look a little bit tacky, but we're just going to go for it. Why not? And that, guys, is the finished look. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below. I know I tweaked some bits because I have some bad habits. And I obviously can't stay to imagery, but I wanted to kind of change it to my style and something that I would wear. But I love the eyes. I think the eyes are probably my favorite. Let me know what your favorite is down below. Also, follow me on Instagram. I'm going to leave this down below because I upload daily videos there. So you will see from me daily. It would be worth checking me out there, as opposed to YouTube is just twice a week. I love you guys so very much, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Mwah.